All right, live and direct Crypto Comics alongside Slick. No, that's not his name anymore. It's Lubed Up Jimmy Love Handle from Little Girl Lethal and the incredibly talented Silver Place medalist from Drawn and Quartered this evening, the one, the only, Brad Silverbells Ashworth.
Silver, yeah, I like that one. That was pretty funny.
Still drawing what he was drawing earlier on Drawn and Quartered.
It's true.
A picture of Sinterklaas.
Santa Claus. Santa Claus
Sinterklaas.
and Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Klaus. And she's looking lovely for an older gal.
No, you gotta understand. The magic makes her young forever because Santa wanted it that way.
I think it's a trophy, Mrs. Claus.
He can probably use his magic to make her any age he feels like. So if he's like, I want to, be with
No, it's actually a little Lolita.
A MILF, a Mrs.
No, a young girl. It's a young elf.
Oh, this is a young elf. That's what Mrs. Claus was a young elf
that he took advantage
of.
Really? Where's her pointy ears?
It says a young elf that made her look older. Maybe her ears haven't come in yet.
Does she have those Christmas tree earrings?
Earrings, yes. I was having some fun with it.
That's very nice. Are you going to add color to it before you sell it?
Just red.
Just red, okay. No green?
Nope.
Bold.
No green on his ears? On the earrings? This should be green.
Yeah, and I would maybe make her frills on her arms
the artist
green
here?
too. Well,
and I would make his beer.
I don't think that talent with a hand has anything to do with imagination.
Plus, it's already kind of set in pen, so yeah, it's already going the way it's going.
Well, it looks real lovely.
Thank you.
She looks like she's got the Christmas cheer going on.
Oh, his shirt is open. That's
right.
So it's after a hard days of slaying.
So are his pants. She's right between his legs.
Yeah, his belt is unbuckled. Look at that. Wow. He's just letting his belly hang out. He's relaxing.
He is relaxing.
That bowl full of jelly needed to breathe.
The beard.
You gonna add yellow to that?
No, it's black and white, dude.
Okay. Just asking.
No, you're good.
I'm a big fan of color. I don't think I have bought some black and white comics, but they were comedy comics.
Well, I'm a black and white artist doing your book, right?
But it would be colorized, right?
Black and white, right?
I mean, kids like color.
You have to buy a colorist. I don't do it.
Really? You don't do color?
No, I'm colorblind.
Oh, I figured you figured out a process.
No.
That's what I know.
His cones don't work, man. His cones don't work.
I thought maybe they could, they had a button you could push, Now, see, I'm inventing a great thing. I guess, they should do that for Photoshop or whatever art, colorists use nowadays.
Well, there's degrees of color blindness too. There's some people will see some colors, but not all.
Yeah, there's a variety of types. Yeah.
Yeah, I see some, but it just does not help me.
You just have the typical color blindness?
Red, green.
I have this guy I grew up with. He lived in the neighborhood south of me, and he was completely colorblind. He couldn't tell any colors. And
that's very rare.
Yeah, it was very rare.
You know the military wants those guys?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Why they want? What's the reason?
Because they can see past camouflage.
He still could drive, and it didn't affect his driving.
Yeah, because the lights are oriented in a certain pattern in the United States.
Right.
Yeah. But no, seriously, the military wants the true colorblind guys for intelligence work. Because they can look at spy photos, spy satellites in black and white.
Well, maybe Jeff did that. He moved away when I was 17. Yeah.
Oh.
So
yeah. It's the only color blindness they want.
I do know that they kept track of people's eyesight, which was really weird during like the Cold War.
Yeah, that's why.
Because this guy I went on my mission with, he was my training companion when I first got out there. He had 2005 vision. Like he was like a
Wow.
fucking hawk. It was crazy. He could read stuff far away, and like apparently the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army, and the Marines all came knocking on his damn door to like try to recruit him because of his eyesight. And he was like, "No, I don't want to do that." He went and became a locksmith like his dad. He didn't
That's
even
cool.
go to college. Like he just took over the locksmithing business. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was weird. We'd be driving down the road. And now I have had glasses since I was like 8 years old. And I he could see like the writing on license plates. I swear, like half a mile away. Like, we'd be driving toward. I couldn't even see the damn license plate. I could see there was a car, and he'd be telling me what was on the license plate. And as we came up to it, he was right, and I was like, what the hell?
What
I,
is
I
wrong
never,
with
I
you?
never heard of such a thing. I met a couple of people after that that had similar eyesight, but he was the first one I'd ever met that could do that on the fly while we were driving. He just like, look down somewhere and tell you details about shit. And then you'd come up to it and you're like, oh my gosh, what the hell? What the hell? Elder Walters, that was his name.
Hmm. Cool.
Yeah. And I was like, man, he could have been a fighter pilot. The fucking guy went and became a locksmith. It's like, what the hell, man? What the hell, man? I, I have a lot of things wrong with my body over the years, and they continue to deteriorate as you get older. But the first thing I would have changed, the first thing I would change of all the things that have gone wrong with me, I would
Eyesight.
change my eyes. I'd have perfect eyesight, and he has perfect, like more than perfect eyesight. And the government's coming to him to make him like the coolest goddamn job in the world, and he's just like, no, let's just like be a locksmith. Okay.
Hey, it's not for some people.
He was also really strange when he slept. Like I slept on the bottom bunk and he slept on the top bunk. And like he'd get like I'd go to bed a little bit later than him and he'd go to sleep and he'd be sleeping like a pharaoh. Like he'd put his hands on his chest and he wouldn't and then I'd get up in the morning a little bit before him just to, I like to just get up a little bit early and then I go back to bed for a few minutes. But he'd always be in the same damn position. So when he got up, he never had messed up hair. His hair was like perfect. He'd sleep like a goddamn sphinx or a pharaoh, just like never moving. And
Crazy.
yeah, it was really weird. Um, he was a nice guy. I'm not saying he was strange or anything. It just I was all over the place. I'd wake up with like all tangled up in my blankets. As I've gotten older, I'm a little bit more static. But when I was younger, sometimes I kind of figure out. Occasionally, I'd wake up and I'd be like hanging off the bed because I'd just be moving around so much. And this dude didn't move at all.
Hmm.
We had two other elders in another room. Uh, were there
Yeah.
as well. One of the elders that was there, and by the end of his mission, he thought he was a prophet, and he was like going off the deep end. It was
Wow.
That
Crazy.
was Elder Alvarez. Seriously, man, this tripping balls. This guy.
Yeah, he's gonna look you up. I told you, I am a prophet.
No. By the time, like, he was at the, and I get on this is my first area, right? And he's
Mhm.
like, at some member's house, telling some member girl that she's supposed to be his wife, you
Oh
know,
God.
and like, it just I'm like maybe this is how the mission should be. I don't know. What I know, I'm fucking 19 doofus kid, and I'm getting out here and he's all and this same guy was always like he'd be reading the scriptures like just tearing them apart to like cross reference them and like he'd spend hours doing it when he wasn't whenever he wasn't doing something like playing basketball or going out tracking or something. He'd be doing that
Hmm.
just incessantly, and then he'd be giving prognostications, and I'm like, I was, what the fuck? And then his companion was Elder Steele, and Elder Steele was just very patient, just like, okay, all right, Alvarez, okay, well, okay, all right. I have many stories from my mission where
Oh, dude.
just
Everybody does who goes on one.
oh dude man just some of the
I'm sure
stuff.
Matt has a bunch.
Got
Matthew,
nothing.
his
No, I
his,
got
his
nothing.
mission his mission to
Portland.
the heathen wrestlers of Calgary.
No. Well, maybe back in the day they were a little hedonistic. I don't know about heathens though.
Hedonistics. There's those debaucherous hearts.
The Harts, yes, the Hart family. Yeah, there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of stories. There's the old Mabel party that their father Stu Hart would have a Mabel party whenever a new guy would come into town. He would tell him talk up this gal Mabel who Mabel comes to the matches and she's quite hot to trot. Her husband is a traveling a traveling salesman, and so she's always looking to feed the boys and get drunk and party, and does she know how to party? And he would really build up this gal Mabel, and then tell him, what you need to do is go out and pick up some sandwiches at the store and a couple 24 packs of beer, and we'll go up to Mabel's house and have a party. And sure enough, Mabel was
Some idiot falls for it.
of course he'd get him to fall for it. He'd really sell it, and they go up there and have a guy come running into the house with the gun. What the fuck are you doing with my wife? And the wrestler inevitably would go running out into the night. There's one very famous story about it. Ran out into the night and got himself caught up in a bunch of barbed wire, and finally ran into some cops and said, "Oh, you gotta come! Oh, he tried to kill me! He tried to kill me!" And the cops would say, "Oh, we'll go check it out, eh?" And they take the guy down to the police station and leave him there, and they go up to the house and have beers with the boys because they were in on the joke too.
God.
Hey, where's Santa's other knee?
So
That's
one
obscure.
boot's here, the other boot's
Yeah.
here. So it's behind her.
Okay.
I see his left knee, his right knee, but I don't see his weenie.
What she has. She's seen his weenie.
She's seen it. Don't worry. Why she's happy.
So, well, I was waiting for some other people to get in here because I'm interested in talking a little bit about the whole Will Smith Aladdin nonsense.
Oh God.
No, you don't like that?
Getting jiggy with it.
I can't undo it.
Just getting Genie with it. Getting Genie with it.
Wow.
For those of you just tuning in, I'm here with lubed up Jimmy Love Handle from Little Girl Lethal, the hit nudie book campaign on Indiegogo today. It's a great story, but what you come for the breasts and you'll leave for the story. You'll come back for the story. Yeah, that's what it is.
You come for the breast and stay for the snatch.
Yes, this
Oh
is
my
what's
God.
gonna happen. Yep.
No,
But the
it's
story,
gonna
the more I hear about the story, the more mesmerized I am. And it just makes me wonder, why'd you put all this nudity in it? But then he says, well, you can buy one that doesn't have any nudity. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So it's just a regular comic then about pedophilia, I guess. I don't know.
What?
Okay.
No.
Oh, I mean,
No.
no, it's about a chick, though, who was sexually assaulted when she was a child.
Yes, she had bad things happen to her. But
It's a revenge story.
It's a revenge story. She's
Wait, is
gonna.
it based on a
she's
true
gonna-
story by a comic artist in the news right now?
Did he live in an alternate universe? Maybe.
Is there a comic artist in the alternate universe? Who's in the news right now?
I'm sure there are some comic artists.
Was it
Artists
that
in
the guy at Bordertown canceled?
Esquivel,
Yeah.
Eric Esquivel.
He had it canceled. I
Yeah,
guess I
it's-
missed
Yeah.
what happened with him.
Yeah, he had it canceled
Why was it canceled?
because he was bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna
He
do?
was a very bad boy.
Did he? Oh, guess should we look it up? Should I Google
Sure,
it?
go ahead.
Well, let's just
He actually,
share.
Bleeding Fool today retweeted his whole tweets. He admitted to it. Wrong marker.
He admitted to it. Okay, let's see what that means, everybody. What does it mean when they say
he admitted?
He admitted to something?
Yeah, he's
Say his name again?
Eric Esquivel.
Eric with a K?
ERIC.
Are you gonna white out that a little bit where you missed your spot?
Yeah, it's fine. It'll blend away.
You said bleeding cool or bleeding fool?
Bleeding Fool.
Bleeding Fool. Being cool wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I made many mistakes worse than that.
We'll see this one.
All right.
It's from today.
I heard
It
that.
comes par for the course when you're.
This is December 10th.
Work by hand.
Is this the one we want? December 10th?
Oh.
See that response at the end of this post. Yeah. Okay, so Betty Fellon says TW/CW sexual abuse. I don't know what that means. That's okay.
So,
I know what sexual abuse means. I don't know what TW/CW means.
You know what sexual abuse means?
Well, yeah, I know how to read English.
I'm so sorry.
My comprehension skills are literally off the chart. This is a tough read, but it's an account about a creator.
I'm so sorry that happened to you, man.
Thank you. Now shut the fuck up for a minute. But it's an account about a creator who my peers and I have been warned about multiple times.
Good thing it's your channel, man. It's good thing it's your channel.
Is, hey, you want to talk about this? Is this what you want to talk about, James?
I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
We're going to talk about this.
I love you, man.
We're definitely going to talk about how they could release this photo instead of this photo.
Yes.
Because I totally saw him as this, but like maybe 3 times as big with a puff of smoke coming out of his, where his legs should be. Yeah, just like Genie in the movie, right? It was so logical in every fan's brain. It was so logical to everyone who's ever seen the original Aladdin starring Robin Williams. And I thought Will Smith, great choice, because he knows how to be funny, and this is going to be like that movie where he returns to prominence again after having many terrible movies in a row starring his son.
Earth
Did you not see the YouTube Rewind video?
God, everybody's been talking about that. I couldn't pay attention to it because it was made for people with ADD.
So bad.
This is really bad. I mean, I don't even know who any of those people are, and even if
Nobody
I did,
does.
It still would be like just really bad.
We'll get back to this though. Let's stick with Eric Estrada.
Fine.
Eric Estrada?
Let's stick with Eric Esquivel. Yes. No one's Me Too'd Eric Estrada yet. Telling me something didn't go down on the set of Chips. I find that hard to believe.
Well, it was the 70s, man. Everything, all kinds of stuff went down.
It was all going down. It was going up. It was going
everything
sideways.
It
was basically Eric Estrada's dick was like the Wonka elevator. To go anyways.
They just do whatever, man.
Maybe that's purely speculation on my part. I don't know if that's true.
They have speculation, and I bet they had a bunch of lewds.
They did have lewds back then for sure.
Oh, dude, they had that was the shit. That was the way you. And the girls would ask for them. They'd want the lewds, and then they'd get all horny when they got the lewds. It wasn't like you had to roof him. They said, we got lewds, and they're like, really? I want one.
So this is the one. And when I was a kid, I just thought, wow, that doesn't make me want to rent it. Eric Estrada shirtless with that chain, jailbreaking. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was this one that was in my local video store. I know. I remember it well.
It's some sexy shit right there.
For those younger viewers, for the 3 people who are probably watching, this is how he's best remembered as Eric Estrada from Chips.
So I guess I got your for the Chips jail promo.
Yeah, we're gonna do Chips tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
sponsor.
I remember that.
You can get this at Top Rate Picks on eBay. Just if you guys want it,
just to let people know, they never had any Hispanics as leading men before, the last few years.
I don't want that.
They never had Hispanics ever. There was never anyone. He's actually white. People.
White Hispanic.
He's white Hispanic.
Mm-hmm. Gonna get some racial undertones to this one.
That's right. Totally. Because we never, ever ever had anybody who was of any sort of ethnicity other than white before the last like 3 years ever.
Nope, never.
So not never, never.
What's
Nope,
this, Dad?
never.
What's this,
Those
Dad?
guys are white. Those guys are white too.
Is this isn't blackface?
I can't
What are
believe you
talking
can't
about?
see that these guys are white. What are
This
you
guy
talking
might
about
be
blackface?
Jewish.
These guys are white. They're Jewish white guys.
He's not. It's definitely white. I don't think so. I think what these guys are comedians who made a lot of money. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're
Okay.
white
Anyways.
comedians. Anyway.
So Eric Estradavel has responded to these claims as of Friday, December 14th.
Oh,
So let's see what Betty Fellon has to say. Again, with the internet code that I'm not familiar with, TWCW, sexual abuse.
Fallon.
What the? No, don't take. No.
Don't take what?
I'm going to go to their Twitter. This is a tough read, but it's an account about a creator whom my peers and I have been warned about multiple times over the years. Thank you for strength, Cynthia. Praying, even though I don't believe in a god. Cynthia Noggle. That was speculation. I don't know. I'm just assuming because she's on Twitter, she doesn't believe in a god. A couple days ago, I sent a letter to my abuser.
Godless heathens, even though I'm on Twitter.
I've decided I wanted to tell my story. He works in the comic book industry. Well, hey, if you want to tell a story, I would suggest contacting someone in the comic industry. Maybe they could help draw it for you. After I sent him the letter, he deactivated his social media accounts, except Twitter. This is one of the hardest things I've done. CynthiaNoggle.blogspot.com. So what? The hardest thing you've done is talk about a guy and then promote your blog spot?
Well, that's how you do it, man.
This
that's
is how
where
you
she
do.
wrote it. That's where she wrote it. So,
But I mean, if it was a letter to him, it sounds like it's a letter to everyone.
it's a letter to everyone.
Okay.
She's coming open about it.
I just wish she would have been honest about that in the beginning.
No, well, see, okay. First of all, when that happened, she was underage.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you need some context there because you can't rip it apart right at the beginning.
Okay, well, the comparisons to Alyssa Milano and Rose McGowan. Okay, I don't know if those are good comparisons right off the bat. I would have maybe gone with someone else. Yesterday, Cynthia Garrietz Noggle, a toy designer, posted a lengthy blog entry detailing the sordid details of an alleged sexual abuse that she claims she suffered a few years ago at the hands of her former manager of a comic shop she worked at in Tucson, Arizona. I've been to Tucson. It's a shithole. It's a shithole.
It's a hot shithole.
It is. It is a hot, miserable shithole where the two Mexican American guys who help you unpack your truck when you move there, they look at you at the end of the day and they go, "Man, you're gonna get along really good here because you got a good sense of humor. Well, bro, don't go outside at night." And I said, "What? Are you scared? You guys are joking with me?" "No, bro, it gets hot out there and you're white." And I was just like, "Oh shit, okay." And then about 6 weeks later, when I decided to move away from Tucson, Arizona, a guy in the apartment complex came up to me and said, "Hey man, I just got to ask, where are you from?" I said, "Oh, I'm from by Portland. I'm from the great state of Washington." And he said, and I was like, "Why do you ask?" And he said, "Because every time you walk by me, you smile and say hello, and nobody does that here." It's like, okay, so we know Tucson is not the place any good young lady should ever be left alone. The tale is heartbreaking if true, and surely took a lot of fortitude to put it out there. Does anyone have a disagreement on that with Tucson?
I've never been.
Just don't ever go there.
What I remember about Tucson is I went there and it was like I was sitting in the anus of Satan. It was so hot.
Yeah, it was. But what is really cool is in between Phoenix and Tucson, they have one of those little roadside attractions, like the halls of mystery type of thing. I can't recall what it was called, but it sure did look inviting. I didn't stop. My new manager.
They do have a pretty cool aircraft graveyard there. It's kind of cool.
Okay, my new manager, we'll call him X. And based on the algebra class I took, I know that X equals Eric Esquivel.
Yeah,
Eric acted like my friend. He was there for me during my breakup and listened. Then one day, while we were having a conversation about my breakup, the topic of our intimacy came up. He got closer, put his hand on my hip, and lower. He kissed me and invited me to his place during our lunch break. I said yes. He lived right next to our work behind a fast food place. Okay, so he did exactly what most cocky guys I know do. It's very smooth. He He's a very smooth operator. And
She said yes,
and
though.
she said, "I consent." Okay, I just want to make that. I just want to see
Yeah,
if that's
she's very clear that she was part
initially.
of it.
okay.
Initially, yeah.
Immediately, he starts to take off my clothes. Ballsy, that's some Donald Trump stuff right there. I can't stop shaking. I couldn't say anything, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I couldn't look at him. Then he slaps my face. Okay.
Yeah, that was an escalation.
That's weird
The
and
guy's kinky.
offensive and not romantic at all. I couldn't do anything after that. I let it all happen and went straight to work after.
Oh.
I let it all happen. I'm assuming that is sex. I wanted to forget without giving details. There wasn't an ounce of love in what just happened to me. No, I would say that's correct. If true, this sounds a lot like sexual assault. Cynthia continues with one shocking detail after another. Then she detailed stories of Eric
Esquivel.
involving sex with
Esquivel.
minors. I've spoken to other girls recently that have experienced abuse and manipulation from Eric when they were vulnerable, susceptible, and some were even underage. I'm so grateful for them. Okay, well, this is all speculation. I just want to say that to make that clear. This is hearsay. I'm so grateful for them. It helped me tremendously getting through this. Not to say he didn't do it, because he sounds like a fucking weirdo. Disgusting to say the least, but another detail that stood out for us was this one, which got social media twerked. He works in the comic book industry, and I wanted this to be a warning for those he works with and around. When this was revealed, it was simply a matter of determining which comic shop she worked at in Tucson. After a few simple searches, it turned out Miss Cynthia Noggle had worked at the Heroes and Villains comic book store during this time period before going into business as a toy designer. When we dug a bit further, we learned that the manager at the store at that time was also a writer for Bleeding Cool, Fox News Latino, the Tucson Citizen, and most recently, a Vertigo Comics writer, Eric Esquivel, the creator of their Border Town comic series.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a shot of Eric at the comic shop in question. Could this story be about him? I have never seen the Thing gloves. Only Hulk is sold where I'm from.
Orange Fist bad.
Orange Fist bad.
Yeah, Orange Fist bad.
Orange Tips bad. Orange Fist bad. I think we're getting a theme. Orange Man bad.
Yes. Orange Tips bad.
Okay, but I can tell just by looking at this dirtbag. Exactly. Oh, and yeah, I see all the signs of a douchebag who takes advantage of women. How weird. It's making me want to believe her story. Yeah, but the slap, you know what this reminds me of is, did you know that not Lucy, what's Ricky's girlfriend's name on Trailer Park Boys?
No idea.
His wife. That wasn't his wife, but anyway, she just sued this guy like maybe a year ago. I don't know if she sued him or he was arrested. He did the same thing to her where he just like started kissing her and all of a sudden he just slapped her. And it was like weird, abusive, controlling shit that is gross. Well, let's keep going here. We're just following the details that were offered by Cynthia, and it seems perfectly clear who Cynthia is trying to implicate. As of press time, all we know is that this is Cynthia's side of the story, and she has not responded to our request for comments. Okay, this is all true. This is her side of the story. Mr. Esquivel locked down his social media, and we cannot get a comment or confirmation from him. The only thing we can safely say for certain is that Cynthia claims that she was sexually abused by someone who works in the comic industry, and that it was by someone she used to. Okay, so we know all this. Eric Esquivel was there during that time.
He did a string of tweets today or yesterday.
Oh yeah. We'll get there. Yeah.
Royal Boiler, Cynthia's rad. She has a clothing company called 10XA Tiger, inspired by the line from King City. So he's putting her over here. I'm glad Cynthia and I didn't creep you folks out too hard with our review. Sorry, Sana. Okay.
Did he rip on Sana Amanat?
I'll ask Cynthia. Cynthia approved. Facebook, here's a link. In the wake of these accusations, Mr. X, yeah, okay, I don't blame him. Okay, so here we have a little drama slut who is going to take advantage of this. Okay, that's fair, but that's fair. Twitter's a shithole, and we know that. Finding it interesting, the Border Town writer being accused of being a sexual. Okay, well, he wasn't actually accused. That is not what we've seen.
Alleged.
I mean, they're alleging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't say his name, just so we're clear. They're alleging it.
They
Okay.
figured it out, yeah.
Or they figured it out, maybe. One or the other. Now until we have some confirmation, I'm not saying that he's a total slut, just a drama slut. I'm just saying that there's some people I've noticed on Twitter who don't ever talk about anything they like, only things they don't like.
I've noticed you kind of sound the same, you and him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're talking to me about local politics that affects my life, yeah. If you're talking to me about fucking shitty comics.
No. I'm just saying, like, the tone of your voice is similar.
Okay. That's good. It's very observant of you, Jim.
You're brothers, separated at birth.
We are brothers from different mothers.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
Yellow Shower and fucking Crypto Comics. We're together. No, I'm just kidding. It's Yellow Flash guy. His videos are actually really good. I really like his videos. He's really funny.
We're just fucking with you, Yellow Flash, you poor man.
We're just fucking around. You know, I'm just trying to be objective here, you know. So, shall I continue?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, I'd love to.
Whatever.
Okay, so let's find out. Is Yellow Flash, I mean, we know he's trolling either way, but is he going to be correct? That is the question. And let's just face it, Yellow Flash is observant. He's very, very observant, and he does. It is eyes. Very possible that he
has eyes, and he uses them.
He does, amazing. Yes. Now, until we have some confirmation, this is merely speculative, and we are presenting the details that we have so far. If this account, okay, yeah, blah 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 blah. So let's see.
Yada.
Cynthia Noggle. A couple days ago, I said, "Oh, this is the same." Okay, this is the same.
Yeah, same time.
Oh, and then she tags Vertigo Comics and DC Comics. Okay, well okay. Now, is this considered tortious interference?
No.
Why?
Because she wasn't actively interfering in the contract. She was just pointing out who's working, what he's doing, what he did.
Okay, fair enough. Shout out to that umbrella guy for picking up this story. Okay, well, of course, yes. I knew that would happen. Okay, but she's being censored. Oh, and she's got the nose ring. And the Courtney Love 93. Okay.
It's been a rough few days, so
I'm just observing how people exploit, different topics to get views on the internet.
Like putting an electrical tape over the mouth is really not a good way to silence somebody. You really need to have a good strip of duct tape.
Yeah, you want duct tape, not a strip. You want to wrap the mouth. Trust me on this, Jim.
You need more than just that little, because that kind of tape just comes right off. People should know this. If you're gonna do it right.
Mm-hmm. This type of tape is meant for nipples.
Yes,
only.
Nipples to cover the nipple so that it draws the eye's attention, yet you do not see the goods.
Yeah, you don't get in trouble with Instagram if you do that. So.
It's X marks the spot. It's where you go for the buried treasure.
Okay, so this post has been updated to include this. DC cancels Border Town and Eric Esquivel. Oh, was that too loud?
It was too loud.
I'm sorry.
Just don't let people know.
I get excited. Okay. Earlier this week, we reported on the sexual abuse claims that had been lodged against Vertigo Comics writer Eric Esquivel, who had been garnering some critical praise for his Border Town comic this year. I heard a lot of people shit all over it, actually. I didn't hear too much critical praise.
I've heard a lot of critical stuff.
Oh, was that wrong? Should I not have said shit all over it?
No. Well, it says critical praise, which for me is maybe.
I'm just not reading. I don't know.
I think I've heard a lot of critical. Just critical. It's very critical.
I don't read DC magazine, so I didn't get a chance to read the praise they had for their own book.
Onward.
In the days that followed the claim, in the days that followed the claim being posted on social media, Esquivel locked down his social media, and no response was forthcoming from DC Comics, the parent company of Vertigo Comics. The alleged victim, toy designer Cynthia Noggle, had posted. Okay, we already know about this. Oh, now we're adding she was sexually, mentally, and emotionally abused, and this is okay. Yes, all this happened. Absolutely.
Why do they keep repeating shit? Why do they keep doing that?
I feel like I'm tuning into a television show and they're coming back from break and they're just going to give me the quick update, like if you ever watch the Oak Island, they're all, I mean, half that show is just freaking what happened in the last segment you watched.
Right. So every time I see one of these things, they repeat the same information like 3 times, sometimes 4. What the hell is that all about?
Well,
just condense it. Give us the facts, ma'am. Come on.
It's to really get it in your mind that Eric Esquivel.
Come on, bleeding fool. I like you guys, but get your shit together and just condense. Tell us what we need to know.
Yeah, I need it concise. A few days after we reported on this, both Bordertown artist Ramon Villalobos and color artist Tamara Bonvillain released statements via Twitter on the subject, distancing themselves from the project.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're going to just go ahead and read it. We don't need them to... This is the other thing, is why do they quote her here when they're just going to post the Twitter right here? I'm just... Oh, shit on a dick.
Why did you do that?
Okay, I don't know Tamara's voice, but I'm going to make one up.
Yeah, well, remember, it's she's one of those minorities.
I know she's transgendered.
I guess. What do you think so far?
Transgender Bond villain. Okay. Well, we'd have to go back to that. You're gonna have to wait till the article's over, and we'll come back to you, Brad, to see how it is.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Tamara Bonvillain. 2 days ago, I was first made aware of the experiences shared by Cynthia Noggle about her relationship with Bordertown writer Eric Esquivel, who I never liked. The way he treated her was disgusting and inexcusable and borderline evil. And issue 5 is my last issue working on Bordertown. Oh, wow. Here we go. It shames me to have spent so much time and energy working with someone who is capable of such actions. And I'm sorry if the delay in response caused some confusion about my feelings. This is a masterful social justice warrior at work. This is brilliant writing. We were advised to let the attention remain.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
We were advised to let the attention remain on the parties involved, but it seems clear that Eric has no interest in acknowledging his actions, and I don't feel comfortable waiting any longer. I'm sorry to Cynthia and any other woman he may have treated similarly in the past. If I had been aware of his history of abuse, I would never have joined the project, and without trying to speak for Ramon or anyone else, I believe they feel the same way. There was a separate issue raised with Eric months ago, but this was explained to me as resolvable interpersonal issues. I asked point blank if any of these issues involved abuse and was told they did not. One specific case, which I only heard third hand, was brought to DC. If at any point I thought there was more to the story than a guy being awkward, I would have been gone and was ready to leave the book at the time if that was the case. Again, no issue of abuse were ever discussed with me prior to a couple days ago. Regardless, I believe Cynthia because we believe victims and we believe women. I'm sorry for any pain Eric has caused her or anyone else in his entire life, and I no longer wish to be associated with Eric in any way.
Because he's a stinky poo-poo head.
I have furthermore requested that DC Vertical buy all back issues of Bordertown and burn them so that my name can never be seen in print with his.
Which they're doing.
For real, that says that?
No, I added that part myself.
He's hyperbolizing.
Oh.
Okay.
This is essentially what it is, though. This is exactly how you escape the wrath of SJWs right here. This is a textbook on it. This is masterful.
Well, Thing is,
It's also
too,
masturbateful.
thing is, too, at this time, he never admitted anything.
It's true.
You know,
Why
so,
would anyone admit anything?
Not yet.
well, at the time, he didn't admit anything, and so like I was like, dude, well, if he hasn't admitted anything, it's he said, she said, you know, it's a little jumpy to do this. But I guess he said something behind closed doors or whatever. So,
Well, he said stuff right here coming right up.
oh yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
Ramon Villalobos.
Yeah.
Are you gonna read this? Or you,
Well, I'm trying to figure out who.
Yeah,
I thought it was. Oh, this is Ramon Villalobos. Excuse me.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Okay. So this is Ramon Villalobos.
Villalobos or Yobos. Yoba de Bos.
Villalobos. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Followed by tweeted a lengthy statement.
Out of respect for all parties involved, I wanted to stay quiet about the situation the last few days, but I felt like I should take a moment to say my piece. I have made it my practice to believe women, full stop. The bravery and strength it took for her to write this letter is probably not the strength or bravery I may ever have. I am only a man. There had been vague rumors about Eric and his treatment of women, and although I was given no real specifics, I insisted to Eric that he come clean to me and our team about any inappropriate interactions he may have had. I think now that I did not give enough weight to these rumors, and I can't state enough how much I regret that. To the best of my abilities, I took the matters through the proper channels, and DC Vertigo handled it in a way that I felt was responsible and direct. I probably can't get into detail. Allowed me to get back to my job.
English is not his first language.
I apologize for my grammar. It's not my fault. I am a person of color from a foreign country.
Most people don't know that Ramon Villalobos is actually Zorro.
How could you tell anyone my secret identity, Slick Jimmy? I want to be clear that neither me, Tamra, or anyone in editorial knew about what came out, and it's very disheartening to see information come out. I hate it when information is coming out all the time. Don't I stay off Wikipedia? It has too much information.
Our secrets are being revealed. It is terrible. And I'm speaking with a Russian accent for some reason.
You sounded like a Spanish, a conquistadorian Russian.
Russian from España.
Russia.
Russia. Okay, let's move along.
Border town meant a lot to me because it was a confluence of so many of my interests. Elements of horror, comedy, teenage rebellion, like going to have sex with the manager of your comic book shop.
Oh my God.
Latino culture, etc. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that I've poured everything I had into this, and it is the best work of my relatively young career.
It is the most racist thing I've ever written. I think it is beautiful. I wrote this, and I colored this. I artist this, and it is racist.
I make sure that it eats, sleeps, and breathes Orange Man bad. It's made my life better. Having done it. Bad. But this is not about me, even though I just talked about me for a while. Whatever this person felt and experienced is what matters the most. And I want to be clear that I think dealing with abuse and making the comics industry a safer place is the most important thing to come from this. To know the art that I'm so proud of and the world I have lived in and created for the last year of my life had brought so much pain to individuals. Frankly, outweighs the joy, the joy The
Hoy?
the hoy,
Hoy?
the joy. How do you say? The joy.
Oh,
I know it brought others, and that is going to be something that is hard to reconcile. There is no way to really make up of my shortcomings in this situation. But I hope in future actions, I can find a way to show this is important to me. Thank you, Ramon Villarobos. To P.S. Despite the rumors, I am not the masked man Zorro. I know you have never seen us together. You've never seen me in the offices of Dynamite posing for covers. But I am not that man Zorro. I hate him.
Okay, I'm trying to draw. Come on.
Immediately following these responses, DC announced there were. Sorry, wrong voice. Immediately following
is
these
it hard? Is it hard for you to draw while you're laughing, or
Dude, it's hard, dude. Like,
I apologize.
I'm trying to focus. And I want to I'm cracking a huge
I
smile.
will not
but
tell the
I'm
people,
come
Bradley,
on.
that you are really the Phantom. These are secrets.
That's a little secret right now. Okay, what are we doing now?
You sound like the Shadow if you smoked a pack a day. Immediately following the response, DC announced they were canceling Bordertown, effective immediately. I can fucking this voice all day. With all orders for the still unreleased issue 5 and 6 being cancelled, those issues was not to be published, and all issues already released are also being made returnable, according to the publisher. For his
Burn
part,
them in the courtyard. Burn them all in the courtyard.
Eric Esquivel vehemently denied the allegations when reached for comment by IO9 late Friday night. I was at a party Friday night. I was not out robbing from the rich robber barons who have destroyed this beautiful country. Let us hear what
I'm trying to draw.
Esquivel has to say.
You don't want me to finish this and get paid.
He needs to make the money.
He still make the money. The money with the cheesecake and the Santa cheesecake. I
This
like.
Jimmy, you said I couldn't draw cheesecake.
So this is what Eric had to say. Let's get to what Eric Esquivel has to say about this.
Okay.
Shall we? Should we?
Yes. Do it. Do it good. Do it hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, baby.
Water.
Oh, yeah. I was once recently
No, that's just not
accused.
how he talks at all.
I was recently accused of misconduct by a former romantic partner.
No, this is not the way that a man who slaps and rapes a woman speaks.
I was recently accused of misconduct by a former romantic partner. Not recent misconduct which allegedly happened many years ago. Out of respect for her and our prior relationship, I will not publicly name names. That's hard to do for a while.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna do Holmes.
Okay,
So I was recently accused of misconduct by a former romantic partner. Not recent misconduct. Misconduct which allegedly happened many years ago. Out of respect for her and our prior relationship in which I slapped her in the face and raped her, I will not publicly say her name.
Okay, you know we're public, right?
I know we're a public, but this is what happened,
We live in a republic, man.
A relationship does not consist of slapping a young girl in the face and raping her. But he says it does. Allegedly.
This is all legit. It's
purely speculative. It's like Joey Q with what happened with the stripper. It's purely speculation.
Totally very speculative. And
I've taken a few days to respond
still.
Because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to go to jail. We're in the midst of a very important cultural conversation right now. One I wholeheartedly believe in when I'm not slapping and raping young women. Allegedly slapping and raping young women. And drawing my comic book border down available at your local LCS.
Rapist.
Never in my life did I expect that I would become one of the accused. When I was slapping her and raping her, I thought she was having fun. I will not speculate as to her motivation for making these reckless allegations about me, but I want to make it clear that they are false. Though our relationship was unconventional, like when I would slap and rape her allegedly, we also treated one another with dignity and respect in public because she was afraid for her job and that I would kill her. Allegedly. I heavily encourage and will fully cooperate in any forthcoming independent investigation of these claims, which I am confident will happen and will show that I have been falsely accused. I have been notified that DC Vertigo has canceled the book I was working on. My heart breaks for the book supporters, all of those wonderful racists who bought my book every month, and my creative collaborators who had no clue that I allegedly like to slap and rape young women. They don't deserve to be negatively affected by this unfortunate situation. And yet another response statement. The comic shop in question, Heroes and Villains in Tucson, Arizona, confirmed in a statement to Entertainment Weekly. That's pretty fucking big, man. That's, well, at least in the 1990s, that would have been pretty big. I'm not sure if it is anymore. I assume it is because also Will Smith is, on the cover. So it must be big, right? I guess. Okay. So Heroes and Villains confirmed in a statement to Entertainment Weekly that Esquivel and Noggle were both former employees and said that management believed Noggle's accounts of events because we believe victims and we believe women. We not only believe her, but we stand firmly behind her in this time of healing. Heroes and Villains has always had a zero tolerance policy for this predatory and abusive behavior, even though we employed him for months. We also refuse to stock any publication or creation from abusers, no matter who they might be. Ethan, we will never stock abusers' comics or projects. Symphony's courage is a beacon to other victims. It's a bright, shining light on a hill, and we support their ability to seek a safe forum and healing. Not only do we want to create a safe environment for victims to come forward, but we also want to intervene and protect those victims, even though we failed horribly in this instance where he slapped and raped her at his apartment before returning to work. Lunch breaks at Heroes and Villains do not involve these things normally. To that end, Heroes and Villains, in collaboration with Cynthia, is developing a model employee code for other comic book shops and the comic book community to adopt, because if anyone understands model employee codes, it's the fine folks at Heroes and Villains, where typically our employees are not slapped and raped. Typically. So definitely we should have a say in all of that.
Don't you think it's kind of ironic that the name of the place is Heroes and Villains?
We've chosen to be a hero, while as Eric is allegedly a victim. Allegedly.
A victim or a villain?
I mean, a villain. It's so confusing. We've got a Villa Lobos, a villain, a victim. We've got a lot of V's in this. I think the one is Thoro. That's a pretty damning statement. After all of this, canceling the Bordertown comic probably wasn't a difficult decision for DC Comics to make. And I find it funny that when they go for the dig on DC, they didn't bother to write it like, you know, how they like to write what other people said, but they could have just explained this, but instead they just put it, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that they trusted me as the reader to understand the dig they were taking. I'm going to tell you what, you know, if I can sell 8,500 copies of a book, I'm going to be very happy if they're $25 a piece.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
After all, the book isn't exactly burning up the sales charts and seemed to appeal to a specific set of critics who consistently heap praise on it while slapping and raping teenage girls. Oh, no. While other comic readers seem to find the book planted and its creators arguably racist and rapists. Racist rapists.
Allegedly.
Furthermore, DC, who likes to draw Batman schlong for children to see, has had to deal with this kind of alleged behavior in the past, specifically with Vertigo writers Brian Wood and Paul Pope, not to mention Eddie Berganza. What the hell is going on here? Open link in new tab, open link in new tab, open link in new tab. It's good to see DC Comics respond quickly and decisively to this situation. Now, if only they would have responded similarly a couple of months ago when Vertigo Comics artist Robbie Rodriguez, Robbie Rectum, was tweeting unsolicited and explicit sexual images of his bare asshole to former DC employee Ethan Van Sciver on Twitter, #analgate. Or was it Anusgate? Was it hashtag Anusgate? Was that what we were doing at the end? I don't remember anymore. It was great though.
Wrecked him. We destroyed him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So now I'm going to stop sharing so that we can show a lovely picture of Santa Claus to everyone, and breathe a little bit.
Santa Claus, Santa Claus.
Let me. Oh my goodness! Isn't that nice?
Oh my heck!
Hmm.
Look at that girl.
But you can't just do a little green on that little earring, huh?
A little bit of green on the earring and a little bit of yellow on the beer, and you'd be set.
Yeah, you would be.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Here comes a train.
Oh, good. I love trains.
We're pulling a train.
Well, then I'll leave the mic unmuted. How's that sound?
That's fine.
I'm just gonna turn it now. Okay, so now we're gonna stop presenting. Choo-choo. Here we go.
So is that little elf girl, is that Santa's gift to himself after a long, hard sleigh ride?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Comes back Christmas morning.
Yep.
Sets her. She found her underneath the Christmas tree there in the workshop.
She put herself there. Yep.
And she said, "Hi, and Santa, how can I help you relax after this long night?" And he's like, "Get me a beer, baby."
Yep.
And then unbuckle my belt, and yeah, we'll go from there. Brad,
What?
this is a good painting. I like it. It's good stuff, but it needs a little bit of green and yellow.
Leave me alone.
So yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town. Did you guys get all your Christmas gifts for your kids and stuff, or whatever, family? Well, you know, I guess Christmas time might be the only time that people who are childless are lucky.
Why? One gift.
Making a list.
Huh?
You know, one year I would like to get a bunch of gifts. Just one.
Hey, Brad.
No, you have to buy the gifts for the
Brad,
kids.
why is there a butterfly up in the corner?
Oh, I was dueling before the drawing started, the drawing quarter.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to draw on the page, but they wouldn't let me draw on the page.
Those bastards.
I know.
How dare they not allow you to start before they did?
Yeah.
It sounds like Comics Pros now.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming. Well, you know how he's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, watching that naughty list.
Zach Hawkins, Tamara Bonvillain.
Here's the truth. Just let me say this real quick.
Just let us, Jimmy.
Sometimes
I'm not going to let you say it.
This is something that Santa doesn't tell everybody, but sometimes naughty is not.
See, I had to do it to you. See what I
had to do? You
Wow.
dirtbag, gravy sucking Hessian.
Zach Hawkins asks, isn't Bonvillain also a man? In addition to what? An excellent comic book colorist. Bonvillain is a man in transition, I think, from what I've heard, but that's just hearsay. So I don't know. If only we had some Space Marines to purge all this heresy.
Yes.
We need really.
The God Emperor's permission to exterminate us.
Zach Hawkins fixed the ET cover art for Aladdin. Okay.
What are we reading here?
Oh my God, are you sure you want to look at that?
Do we? I think you should look it up for us. Oh, okay. So let's talk about what we're here to talk about, which is this terrible, terrible movie. And the first thing I want to talk about is the lack of the emotion in their eyes, because that's the first thing that I noticed that really, really scared me, other than Will Smith looking absolutely ridiculous.
He's like, I need money.
Well, I didn't even think that. I just thought, like, if you look close at his eyes here, you can see that he's just like, oh my God, people are going to see this and they're going to hate it.
Well, that's how all
right in those eyes.
That's how all them white Jewish folks keep all the minorities under control and give them ketamine, and they just look like that.
She's clearly MK Ultra mind controlled. She has no
Yes.
emotion at all, no expression. What is with all these women in movies coming out in 2019 where they're just expressionless?
Dude,
Oh,
Well,
you and Busby, same thing.
emotions are bad, so emotionless is good.
They're on pills because they're all in miserable marriages and they hate their husbands and they hate their lives. Yeah, I guess, because they want to sell it maybe in the Middle East, and Middle Eastern women aren't allowed to smile? Is that what we're...
Maybe. Well, she's supposed to have a veil on or something, right?
Something, a burqa, if I had my way.
Just put her in a burlap sack.
She's not
No,
particularly
she's not
good
bad looking at all. But
I think she's got some great lips.
And now, how about the 45-year-old man trapped in a 27-year-old man's body that looks like a 45-year-old man's body? This is what really is killing me. This is killing me. Him. This is bad. This is terrible. This is an abortion. This is like a second abortion. I don't.
The hell?
Will Smith definitely has bling on, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, he does. It's the first look. It feels like a last look. It feels like this is a death mask. Like, this is a live casting of this movie, and like all you have to do is show this to a person. They're like, oh, that's what it died from. Why isn't he blue? What?
He will be, don't
He will be, but you don't release this without him being blue. Like, you didn't see Jamie Foxx on set of Amazing Spider-Man 2. They showed you what he looked like. It was totally badass what he looked like. The movie was a total nightmare. Piece of shit, but
his character design was cool looking. That's for sure.
Yeah, and they made sure to show that to you first. You did not get to see anything with Jamie Foxx, and you saw that first. This, oh my goodness. How could you be stupid enough to do this? Is Kathleen Kennedy running all of Disney now?
Yes.
So are they actually going to make him blue?
Well, I did read. Will Smith promises that the genie will be blue in Disney's Aladdin remake.
All right.
Must be
Taking
done
your word for it.
Post.
And yes, I'm going to be blue. I'm going to be blue. This is how the genie is in human disguise form. My character will be CGI most of the movie.
Better be. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'd rather see the Hellboy reboot.
Yeah.
I think we just need to reshoot this movie without Will Smith.
Wow, that looks really shitty.
Well, this is not. This is just something somebody did. They did as good as they could with what they had to work with.
No, I bet that's what it'll be looking like.
No, I think this is probably what it's going to be looking like.
Looking like one of those fucking dark elves from Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I like that.
It looks like a Smurf.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. So this is a little bit better, right?
There you go.
They need to make the entertainment tonight another color.
Yeah, yeah. How this was rolled out is absolutely an embarrassment to the house that Walt built. He doesn't really look that good. He doesn't look. I don't know. He looks sad. He looks like he hates his life.
Last movie.
It's like Jada Pinkett ain't giving it up or something. I see a hot little Asian chick here, though. I kind of want to click that.
Oh, please do.
I just want to pull up Disney. I just want to pull up Aladdin real quick.
No, Asian chick.
We'll get there. It all comes back to Asian chicks for me.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah. You're forgiven this time.
Quit smoking, dude.
Yeah. Put down the cigs, dude. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, it's a filthy habit.
A whole new world.
I like that. It came out pretty good.
I like this image. It's just kind of what it reminds me of a little bit, right? Like, do you want to see this? Or do you want to see? I want to see this still. This still looks better. Like, why isn't he making a big cheesy ass smile like this soy mouth genie?
No
He's
idea.
got. They're having fun. Look at how young Aladdin looks in this. Look at this. Look at this. Like the kid is, and that's what he's supposed to look like. And this is what they've delivered. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. How old is this
I
kid?
bet you that's makeup, though. I don't think he can actually grow one.
How old is this kid?
Who?
Aladdin. How old is he supposed to be? I was
20s.
almost like 20 or
20,
25.
I'd say 20, 25.
Okay, because this kid is 27. I think he looks like Jeff Goldblum at 38.
Well, you know, it's hard. It's hard out there.
It's hard out there for a pimp.
Yep.
Trying to get some dollars for the rent.
That's right.
Dollar shrimp.
And
You hated that
Jasmine.
movie, didn't you? You didn't like that movie.
Which movie? Hustle and Flow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the best out of all the shitty rap movies. Hustle and Flow was the good one.
What's that?
What'd you
Somebody
like?
cutting up a line?
Just trying to do a bump, man. He's got to finish these pages.
This is my marker, dude.
What did you like? Did you like it, Jimmy, or were you more of an 8 Mile guy? My knees are weak, arms are sweaty. There's spaghetti on my spaghetti, man. My mom's spaghetti.
Actually,
I'm
I
trying to
like that.
remember, but I keep spaghettiing.
I like Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, I agree.
The same guy did
Get
Hustle
Rich
and
and
Flow.
Die
Did
Try Trying with
the
50 Cent.
the same guy who did Hustle and Flow did Black Snake Moan.
Oh, well, he really, yeah. Well, at least he did one good. Okay, let's talk about our friend Jafar here. Let's just get a good look at Jafar.
Is he going to be played by a white guy?
So we've seen this.
Most
I'm willing to
likely.
leave.
Well,
Yeah.
all white guys are villains, so yeah, probably.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Oh,
Well, this movie's not for you.
yeah, it is. It's for everyone.
Oh,
That's what Disney
not
movies are
for
for.
you.
They're for everyone. So here's Jafar here.
Sorry, but no.
You're wrong. This is Jafar. This is Jafar.
What happened to his turban, man?
I just don't get how hard was it to just remake this? Why they got to do all these updates? It adds nothing to the character. The character design here is vastly superior.
Well, if they were going to really be avant-garde, they should have just done, the story of Muhammad.
They're not going to
Well,
do
there
that.
you go. Yeah, that's
Not for
much
another
better.
20 years. Give him time. So I'm going to say this Jafar is superior, without a doubt. That's my channel dashboard. Okay. Great. So, which one do you guys like better?
Blue
you
Man
see-
good.
Would you see either of these movies?
Yeah, Blue Man, good.
Blue Man good.
Does look a lot better.
Yeah.
They could have exaggerated. Like, I just hope they do some like Jim Carrey in The Mask. Exaggerate the face, and they could have totally done that in today's modern age.
Who knows?
here's
They
how
still
the
might.
And here's to all the boys I've loved before. We'll see what that's about. I didn't. Oh, part 2. I didn't know there was a part 1. Cowboy trailer is here. So this looks awesome, and I love the actor.
Who's the actor anyway?
It's the
Stranger
ranger from Stranger Things.
I don't know who that is.
I mean, the sheriff.
Sheriff.
Sheriff. Sorry, ranger, whatever.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Ranger.
Like the next John Goodman.
Okay.
He's kind of a douchebag though.
No, he's just a dad.
No, did you see that speech he gave at something?
Oh yeah, he's a douche.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, dude, that was a major
Yeah, he's
cringe
he's
fest.
total SJW bullcrap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As he encourages smoking in a show for teenagers. Right. Total.
Guys, don't forget to smoke. Brought
To
to
all
you
the
by
boys I've loved
local
before.
tobacco club.
Watch the teaser. I don't know.
To all the boys
Teenage
I've loved
romance.
before.
I'll pass. Okay,
I
now
wonder how
let's
many boys
compare.
Santa the Barbarian.
Yeah, let's see how Brad's looks versus this. Can't really pull Brad's up though, because he's in the.
What do you mean?
You'd have to scan it and send me a picture of it, and then we could make
Brad's
some
has
comparisons.
better hair.
How do you guys feel about Santa the Barbarian?
He's very
Looks like it might be fun.
muscular.
It's drawn by Dan Fraga. There's Rob Liefeld. There's Holly Days by Jim Lee.
So how old is this?
It's all from the 90s, dude.
Of course,
Neat.
it's from the 90s when things were cool.
Yeah, things are awesome. Naughty Basher, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd buy that for $1.
Hell yeah. I'd
Oh,
buy
guess
that
what?
for
I was at. Do you guys know what Ollie's is?
Nope.
It's a discount bargain market, right?
They don't
Like
have that
where you
around here.
can have Big Lots. You guys heard of Big Lots?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they have big lots. Big lots.
Yeah, it's the same as Big
thing.
Lots, essentially. Yeah. Guess who? I saw some Injustice up in there for $5 for the hardbound
Nice.
copy. I was like, sweet. Yeah, snag
up.
that next time we get over there.
I picked it up and resell it in my shop.
Yeah, well, they had a shit ton of them.
Buy me a couple.
You send me the money, I'll send them to you.
Shop.
I'll swing over there and get them. $5 a piece. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right.
They had so many comics. I was like losing my mind. But I was Christmas shopping for the kids and I couldn't buy any. Story of my life.
Still having kids.
Too late now.
So is Ollie's and Big Lots actually the same company?
I don't think it's the same company, but essentially it's the same thing. They buy discount, or when a store goes out of business, they go in and when they have an auction and sell all the merchandise out of the store, they swoop in and snatch it up for a discounted price. Well, they had a RoboCop t-shirt in there. I was looking at it. I was like, oh shit, a RoboCop t-shirt. Went to go look at the size. It was 3X. I was like, not getting this one. Disappointed.
Yeah, the only Ollie's close to us is in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So,
Ollie's discount market. Why don't they sell comics at the Big Lots?
last time I was there, I didn't see any, but I mean, it's been a while.
Ah.
Oh, Brad,
got
I
a
just want to
huge
say that this
book
looks amazing.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, it does.
I like all of it other than the bad parts.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Where could people get a commission from you? They just go to Pencil for Life on Twitter, right?
Just get a hold of me on Twitter right now. So.
At Pencil for Life on the Twitter. He's a very good deal. He'll make you a great deal. You know, it's only $500 for a drawing just like this.
Hey, I'm willing to do it for that cheap, sure.
They'll even use a couple extra colors if you want.
If it's for you, yeah.
You got to make sure to really define the color, though.
Oh, gotcha.
That's right. I still think you need some green in there in her trees.
Yeah, I think the little
and a little bit of yellow in his beer.
I think the bands around her arms would be good green too to match the earring because she's a fashionable lady.
What? No, like white. White's good on that. I like white.
Yeah, I like white too. I'm just saying, it might be nice to see a variant version.
She could be redhead.
No, that's gonna blend in with Santa's suit.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
It's true.
To black. So.
She's just a very attractive, 50-year-old lady.
You could make her hair blue, like Bremfamous.
No,
No.
it would recede into the background. And it
The only way I want to see Renfamous with blue hair is in my bed naked.
Really?
She can't talk.
Really?
I just want to have my way with her and get rid of her.
Okay, Eric. Escoves.
Esquavos.
No, I really don't care for Renfamous, actually.
No, I don't think she's very much of anything at all.
No, I mean, it's
you got to have a pleasant
like,
personality to be
cosplayer,
attractive.
but yeah.
I couldn't imagine being with a girl like that. I don't know how anybody could.
Yeah, so that's why I said she couldn't be talking.
No, she couldn't be thinking. She couldn't be anywhere within 20 feet of me. Just go. Why are you in my apartment? That's what I'd say to her. What? No, you live in the other apartment. This is my apartment.
Follow me home. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, this is great. This is beautiful.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning already.
It is, but look at what you've done. Look at this masterpiece you've created.
True. It's not bad.
No. For you started this at what, 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
Well, there's a 40-minute delay. So 7:30 I was sitting here waiting, trying to help him out get ready.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell took so long there.
Dude, his internet connection was having problems today.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, we can do it on my channel if you want. I said that last week.
Well, I think that this is a lovely picture, and I think we're going to end the broadcast. We've covered everything we're going to cover here tonight.
Okay.
The one piece of advice I'd like to give everyone out there is never, ever invite a girl back to your house and then slap her in the face and rape her.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's good advice.
It's just bad to do. You don't do that.
That makes you a wicked person. And you can't redeem yourself from that. So that's
not in the eyes of the Lord. Nope.
Not in the eyes of anyone.
Jesus stops forgiving you.
Yeah, you're a dirtbag, bud. An alleged dirtbag. Likely about to go to jail for something you've done.
I don't know if he's going to jail or not.
Who run Border Town?
There's a statute of limitations, I think.
Who run Border Town?
Not Eric. He doesn't run Border Town. Neither does Ramon. Not anymore.
Lester runs Border Town.
So be excellent to each other this holiday season. And party on, dudes.